Welcome to our class today, and if you are feeling really stiff, perhaps you're feeling older than what you actually are and you just need something to help you feel young again, then today's class is just for you. We're going to be focusing on having a lovely stretch and just mobilizing the body. So in terms of toys, I have a ball, but you could use a cushion rolled up if you haven't got a ball. And I've got blocks, which you can use a towel under your head, and I've also got a band. And for this particular thing that we're going to be doing today, you can use a towel or a belt if you haven't got these. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is in standing. So have your feet hip-width apart. And I just want you to be mindful of where the weight is in your feet. Often people sink into their heels, or perhaps they roll onto the outer ankle. So just pay attention to where the weight, where you feel the weight distributed in the feet. Standing nice and tall, so I want you to think of the crown of the head going up towards the ceiling. Now the more you try and lengthen, so the taller you try and make yourself, the more your abdominals will naturally wrap in. And I just want you to see if it feels like you're poking your bum out. So are you in that kind of position? So just drawing the pelvis in slightly and have a little shoulder roll. So bringing the shoulders into the back pockets. And then think of someone taking a photo of you. So you just want to draw that tummy in slightly. Now soften your knees. So we don't want to have locked out joints. Have those knees a little bit soft. Take another breath in. Send your chin back first and then take the chin towards the throat and just hold it there for a little breath or a full breath. And all I want you to do is try and pull your shoulder blades down the back as you take your chin towards the throat. So you might feel this, I think it's lovely, not everyone might think it's lovely, this lovely stretch from the neck all the way down the back. And then take another breath in. Now from here you're going to drop the head forward, keep pulling in the belly button and start to fold your spine down. So if you feel like your weight is starting to sink into the hips, what's going to happen is you're going to come into a hip hinge. So we want to try and avoid the hip hinges. So put the weight almost into the balls of your feet. And I want you to imagine you're actually trying to get your head as close to your body as you can. Now, if you've got sciatica, go to the point where there's no pain, or you might get pain as long as the pain doesn't increase for longer than 10 seconds. If it does, come out of it slightly, because people with sciatica tend to be in pain anyway. Otherwise, you're just going to go down as far as is available for you. So again, if you do get to the floor, just check that your hips haven't popped up, even if you need to bend your legs a little bit more. Relaxing your neck, your shoulders. Take a breath in, and now I want you to focus on the tummy. Pull the tummy in, so breathe out, out, out as you peel your spine up, one vertebra at a time. If you need to breathe in, stop, inhale, and then exhale. Once you come up, grow nice and tall, have a shoulder roll. Oh, these are so underrated, I love them. Breath in, chin tuck, pull the shoulders down the back. Another breath in, and then start to fold forward. So I like to visualize your spine as a bicycle chain. Each link should move nice and freely. Remember, the spinal column is not one solid thing. There's lots of bones joined together with discs and tissues in between. Now, obviously, they haven't got that much mobility, but I want you to visualize as you're coming up, one link comes up, another link comes up. Just trying to send your awareness to each part of the spine. Exhale, 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 exhale. Once you come up, chin comes up, shoulder roll. I often find people just want to rush through these. Let's do a couple more. Now, if your hands touch the floor, great. If they don't touch the floor, great. I don't want you to be fixated on that. For some reason, human beings think that touching their feet means something good. Now, as you can see, I can just about put my hands flat on the floor. I assure you that does not come from flexibility of the legs. I have ridiculously long arms. So it may appear that I'm super flexible. And then last one. So likewise, somebody might have really long legs and short arms and a short body, and they're never going to touch the floor. So please don't think you're a better human being just because you can touch your feet. Last one, hug that belly button in. Oh, delicious. Once you come up, have a big shoulder roll. Yum, yum. Right, so we're going to come onto our back now. So I'm just going to move this to this side, and then we'll come onto the back. And I want you to grab your towel, belt, band, whatever you're going to use. So this stretch that we did was through the back. We also engaged the abdominals. It was a little bit of a leg stretch as well, but we're going to focus a bit more on the legs now. So I want you to come down onto your back. Now for me personally, I like to have, you can even use a ball if you want to under the head for this. I quite like a ball. It's a little bit luxurious. I'm all about luxury. So I'm going to start with my right leg and have the band so it's over the ball / arch of the foot. And then all I want you to do before you straighten the other leg is just have your hands either holding on nice and relaxed, or you can pull your elbows into your waist. It really depends on if you've got a belt or something that's stretchy. So what I want you to just pay attention to first is your right knee. So I want you to try and straighten the leg. Now, the only time we don't encourage anyone to straighten their leg is if they're hypermobile. So that means your knee's going the other way. So if you are hypermobile, have that knee just slightly soft. If you don't know, just have a look at your knee. Does it look like it's bending quite far, or it's straightening quite far out the back of your leg? Otherwise, if you're not sure, slightly bent. If your legs are so tight at the back that your leg is about there, you're probably not going to want to straighten the left leg, okay? Because if you straighten the left leg, it tilts the pelvis and it's going to make this hamstring have to stretch more. So you can keep that left leg bent. Otherwise, if you can get your leg so high or even that high, try straighten the leg and just see what that does to your right leg. So I want you to really focus on a straight knee. Unfortunately, there's this big myth in the world that you shouldn't lock your knees out. And there's a degree of truth to it, but as always, everybody takes it way too far. At the moment, I'm locking my knee out. I'm doing that with the muscles. I've got no weight in the leg, and I haven't done it as a jolt. Okay, this is done with control. This is why I love Pilates. So right now, all these muscles are working in my leg. The muscles that support the knee, my quad muscles, and at the same time, my hamstrings are getting a proper stretch. And if I give the band a little pull, ow, I'm getting into the calf as well. So while if you were running or playing football, you don't want to be jolting your knee out like that. Or if you're standing in a shopping queue and you're just hanging out your joints, you don't want to be doing that. But within a Pilates class, we are actually doing it with control. So I really want you to focus on engaging your legs and then curl your toes back towards your face. So flexing your right foot. Can you feel how that gets into the back of the calf? So what you might not know is that your calf and your hamstrings work together. They help each other. So we really need to make sure that we're stretching off both parts of those muscles, that one and that one, to get the full range and the full benefits of it. So we're just going to hold that for a couple of breaths. So your discomfort level wants to be anywhere between a 5 and a 7. So if you just woke up and it's cold, perhaps you want to be at a 5, like it's discomfort, but it's not excruciating. And a 7 is like probably what I'm feeling. It's like it's quite uncomfortable, but I'm not hurting myself. Good, just stay here for one more breath. Good, and then just soften that knee down. Bring the left leg up. So just start with this, your right leg bend first, straighten that left leg up. Now you might already be even seeing my body. that my left leg is my more flexible leg, so we can go a little further. So just be mindful in your own body. If your left leg is your tighter one, it's not going to go as far as the other one. So you don't want to like, oh, I'm trying to pull that. And then just relax. So it's very hard to relax when it's uncomfortable. Hamstring stretches are not my favorite thing. As I said, when I was in standing, it looks like I've got flexible legs, but actually my hamstrings can be quite tight sometimes. So curling your left toes back, that's going to help your left knee to try and stay straight. And then when you're engaging the front of your leg, the brain is going to tell the back of the leg to let those muscles get longer, to lengthen them. So exhale and gently pull. Did you see my right toes are doing the same thing? So also what I like about the ball or a block under the head, like for some people, this is so tight for them that if their head is on the floor, I'm going to try and exaggerate it. If their head's on the floor, they're in that kind of shape because whether their arms are too short or the hamstrings are too long. So a block under the head just helps to keep that back down. And it's a nice little neck massage. We're actually going to do that a bit later. Good. Last little breath. And then release that leg down. Marvelous. So I'm going to come off of that. I'm just going to put it there. And I'm going to put a cushion under my head. You might want to put a block. That's fine. So we're going to come into a variation of side rolls, which I do quite often just because they get into the fascia, they get to the spine, they get into the hips, they get into the chest, they get a lot of parts of the body. So I do like these. So we often work with the legs together and close to the bum. But today we're going to do halfway down the mat and feet wide. Take the arms in a T position or a Y position. Just find the point where you can keep the arms flat on the floor. So I don't know if you can notice my chest is trying to pop up. That's because of this block here. So I'm just going to take it down a little bit. So breathe in. Send your tummy down and just flump your knees over to the left side. And just stay there. Now you can either just hold this little stretch. If you want to go further, you're going to try and take this top hip and push it more diagonally away. And at the same time, you're going to reach your right hand diagonally away. And you can either look to your right hand or you can look towards the ceiling. Now, if you have not had a hip replacement on your right hand side, I'll repeat this. If you have not had a hip replacement on your right hand side, you can do this. If you have, then just stay where you are. So just see if you can drop that top knee down towards the floor a little bit. Just how does that make that feel? So for those of you with hip replacements, what this does is it actually pushes the bone out of the hip socket, which is why you don't want to be doing it. I'm just reaching. Nice big breath into the right side of the body. And then hug the tummy down, bring it all back to the center. Good. I always find I lose my pants half the time. So inhale, send the lower back down. As you exhale, rotate the knees over to the right. Now either sending the head to the left, if that's okay for your neck, or keep looking up and reach that left hand away. So this side feels a lot more flexible. I don't know if you could see, I've got a little bit more movement in this side of the body. Reach the left hand, top hip, you're going to send it diagonally away, but make sure your left shoulder's not coming off of the mat. So we don't want the shoulder to lift. And then if you have not had a hip replacement, you can just drop that top knee slightly, just see how that changes the move. You might feel it in the knee a bit, you might feel it in the back. Breathe in. And then exhale, pull the tummy in, hips bring the knees back up again. So we're just going to do one more to each side. Now, if you've noticed just out of those two that there's one side that is really, really tight, you're going to do two on that tighter side. But I'm going to do one each side just for you all. So breath in, hug the tummy down, send the knees over to the right. Turn the head to the, send the knees to the left, turn the head to the right and reach. This side is particularly uncomfortable for me, which is not a bad thing, it's just a stretch. So reach and reach. So there's a difference between discomfort and pain. So while you're holding that stretch, I'm just going to talk you through it. We never want pain in the body. Now some people that have perhaps fibromyalgia or sciatica, arthritis, there might be a degree of pain, but we never want the pain to get worse. And then exhale, hug the tummy in, bring it all back to the center. We're just going to do one more to the other side. Again, if yours is particularly tight, you're sticking to that tighter side. So inhale, exhale, back goes down, send the knees over to the right. Reach the left hand away, turn the head to the left and reach. And reach. And reach. So there's this tissue in the body called fascia, which is actually what we're working on at the moment. It's a connective tissue that surrounds all the muscles, everything. It keeps the whole body in, basically. And if one area of the body is tight, it can affect the another part of the area. So you might have an issue with your shoulder, and if for some reason your knee just starts to hurt, and it could be this kinetic chain, this tissue. And then exhale as you bring it all back in again. And then gently bring your arms down. Oh, that's one of those, oh, that's horrible, but so nice. When I teach a class, I try and get them to keep their arms out there for as long as possible so that that part's the nicer part. So if you want a little knee hug. So we've done the hips, we've done the spine. We're going to come into the upper back now. So we're going to take this ball and you're going to put it between your shoulder blades. Now, if you haven't got a ball, you can use a cushion, just a cushion off your couch, and you're going to put it down the length of your spine between your shoulder blades. So it's not low, it needs to be right up just under your neck area. Okay? If you have got a ball, you might find you need to put a block under your head as well. So that's what I'm going to do now. So your legs can be bent for this, they can be straight, whatever you want to do with your legs, I don't mind. So I like to actually have the feet wide and the knees together. That helps your hip flexors to relax. It just helps these tissues in your hip joint to let go. Find the right spot. So take the hands up towards the ceiling. So we're going to focus on the neck, shoulder and chest with this one. We're just going to mobilize. So reach your hands to the wall behind you. Take the hands down to the side, down to your hips and back up. And all I want you to do is just enjoy these nice big circles in your shoulder joint. Now, if there's any part of the movement that hurts your shoulders, so just don't take the hands all the way back. So maybe your circles will be a little bit higher off of the floor. So this is not about touching the floor all the way around, like my left arm won't do that. Just find the point where it's like, yeah, feel the pull there, circle it around. This is about mobilizing your shoulder joint. It's also about mobilizing your thoracic spine, the top part of the spine. And then what I want you to do is just tuck the chin to the throat side slightly. So we're getting into a muscle, well, the neck muscles, one particular one called levator scapula. I'm going to touch the wall if I don't bend that left arm. And then the other thing I want you to notice, are both your arms doing the same thing, or is one bending and the other one straight? You want to have straight arms. If you bend, it telling me there's either something wrong with the shoulder or you're just not aware of it. So what we'll do if we've got an issue with the shoulder is we'll compensate by bending the arm, okay? So if you watch your elbows, if at any point it bends, it's like, there's something going on. So either just take that movement to the point where your elbow does want to bend, lift it slightly and straighten it and work in that range. So we want to keep those arms straight so that we can get into the shoulder joints. Otherwise, if the elbow bends, you're moving that movement away from the shoulder. And then just enjoy these nice big circles. Reaching up, reaching back, reaching out to the side, reaching down to your feet. Let's just do a couple more. These are lovely stretches for the chest as well. Under the armpits. Good. Last one. Oh, these are so nice. Good. And then take your hands to the back of your head and lift your head so you're looking at your knees. Put the weight into the elbow and then just take the ball away. Lie down onto your back. And then you're going to pop the ball under your head. Now, if you haven't got a ball, again, you can just have the cushion, portrait style. So we'll come down onto the ball and have the head on top of the ball. So you might have noticed I've miraculously changed clothes very quickly. We had a glitch on the video this last part, so I'm reshooting at very short notice. So anyway, so from here, just you can have your legs straight or bent, entirely up to you, but we're just going to start to tilt the head from side to side. So when you take your head to the left, just think of dropping the right shoulder down. And then when you bring your head up, take it over to the other side and just pulling that left shoulder back. And you're just going to keep going with your head. And each time you're trying to take your head a little closer to the floor while you try and pull the opposite shoulder a little further away from the ear. And then just enjoy these. Lovely little neck stretch, a little bit of mobility into the neck area. But you want to make sure that your gaze is directly up towards the ceiling. So often what people will do is drop the head down. So just for this particular exercise, we just want to try and keep the head nice and square with the ceiling. You might feel some crunching or creaking. And what you'll notice is that you can start to take the head a little further each time. These are so lovely, especially if you've done a lot of neck work. It's a nice way to stretch off after the class. So as always, if you enjoyed the video and my speed clothes changing, please like and subscribe, comment on the videos because Facebook will pick that up and then it will help to push the videos out. And every comment and every like is fully appreciated. And then once the head comes back up to the top, hold it there. Just take your hands to the back of your head, just lift your head up, and then we're going to roll onto the side and push yourself up into a seated position. So I hope you enjoyed your class today, and as I said earlier, please like and subscribe because it does help us. And apologies for that last little glitch. Take care and have a good day. Bye.